Before Ewuare's reign, the Oba of Benin's power and authority were significantly restricted by the Azama, a group of hereditary chieftains. The Azama had the authority to appoint the Oba of Benin upon an Oba's death and could limit the Oba's efforts to consolidate power. Ewuare's rise to power is documented in Benin's oral history. Born as the third son of Oba Ohen, Ewuare was initially known as Prince Ogun. After Ohen lost his divine powers due to paralysis in both legs, he was deposed and stoned to death. Following Uin's death, a controversy arose, leading to the exile of Prince Ogun and his brother Prince Aruga by Oba Orobiru, Uin's second son. Uin's first son, Oba Egbeka, briefly ruled after their father's death. During his exile, Ogun traveled extensively, visiting various kingdoms. Local historian Jacob Uegareba noted that after Orobiru's death, both Ogun and Uifikun were banished, but Uifikun returned, deceived the Azama, and became king. One popular oral tradition suggests that during his exile, Prince Ogun performed a favor for a jungle spirit and received a magic bag called Agbaboko, which had endless space and could produce whatever he desired. Throughout his travels, Ogun acquired extensive magical and herbal knowledge. At one point, he slept under the sacred Uloko tree, which instructed him to return to Benin City and reclaim the throne. On his journey back, he healed a lion by removing an infected thorn from its paw and received a magic talisman that could create any desired situation. Upon reaching Benin City, he found a parade for his brother Uifikon amid widespread destitution. Using the talisman, Ogun set parts of the city on fire, pulled a bow with a poison arrow from Agbaboko, and assassinated Uifikon. Amid the chaos, he hid with a slave named Edo, who had cared for him as a child. When Uifikon's supporters searched Edo's house and killed him, Ogun emerged, gathered his supporters, and claimed the throne. In Egereba's version, Ogun was hidden in a dried well by a prominent chief's head slave, Edo, who then helped him escape. Ogun adopted the name Ewuare, meaning, the trouble has ceased. He later earned the honorific Agidigan, the Great, and is often referred to as Ewuare Agidigan or Ewuare the Great. His rise to the throne is typically dated to 1440. To honor the slave who sacrificed his life for him, Ewuare renamed the city Edo, now known as Benin City. Ewuare is often regarded as a pivotal reformer and influential figure in the state formation of the Benin Empire. He strengthened the Oba's authority, restructured lineage practices, and established an administrative framework for the empire. Additionally, he significantly expanded the empire's territory. One of Ewuare's major administrative reforms was diminishing the power of the Azama chiefs, who had previously limited the Oba's authority. Ewuare eliminated their role in appointing the Oba, instituting a clear succession system favoring the firstborn son. By adopting this primogeniture system, the Azama's influence was considerably reduced. To further clarify succession, Ewuare introduced the Edikan title for the eldest son. According to one oral history, this development originated from an incident in the city of Oselu. The chief of Oselu, Ikan, was an ally of Ewuare. When another city revolted against Ewuare's rule, Ikan mobilized an army to quell the uprising. During the conflict, Ewuare sent his eldest son, Kuaboyawa, to govern Oselu. Ikan died in battle without an heir, leading Kuaboyawa to become the ruler. This event established a clear succession for the Oba's eldest son with the title Edikan, derived from the incident. Ewuare also introduced two additional administrative layers in towns and villages by establishing the Egabhoing Ore, town chiefs, and Egabhoing Obbe, palace chiefs. These officials, directly appointed and accountable to the Oba, managed tribute collection, legal matters, and other state affairs. To support this structure, Ewuare encouraged freeborn citizens to work in the palace for modest wages as part of these administrative orders. Furthermore, Ewuare successfully expanded the empire by conquering numerous cities and towns in the region. He personally led the army against many Edo communities west of the Niger River, as well as key Yoruba settlements like Akuyo and Uwo. In the towns he conquered, he swiftly replaced the ruling elite with chiefs from his administrative system who were his allies. Oral history recounts Ewuare's 201 victories over various cities and towns, establishing a vast empire centered in Edo. During Ewuare's reign, the capital city, then known as Edo, underwent significant redesign and reconstruction. Ewuare built extensive walls and moats around Benin City, created large boulevards, and designated specific zones for various crafts. Archaeological evidence shows that the walls around the palace and the city, extending even into the countryside, were massive projects that took several years to complete. Ewuare also rebuilt the palace, establishing a clear separation between it and the rest of the city. To emphasize this division, Ewuare introduced scarification for freeborn citizens to distinguish them from the slave population. However, Egharevba offers a different origin for the scarification practice. According to oral histories cited by Egharevba, Ewuare's eldest son Kuaboyawa, the ruler of Icon, and his second son Ezawaha, the ruler of Ayoa, became rivals and poisoned each other, leading to Ewuare's profound mourning. In his grief, Ewuare enacted a law prohibiting sex for 3 years, causing many residents to migrate. After overturning the law and realizing that few migrants returned, Ewuare instructed neighboring states to deny entry to his citizens and established the scarification practice for easy identification of his people. Ewuare was the Oba of the Benin Empire when Portuguese explorer Rui de Sequeira arrived in 1472. While it's uncertain if Sequeira entered the city, contact between the Portuguese and the Oba was established, leading to limited trade between the two empires. This trade expanded significantly in the 1480s. The King of Portugal later formed a strong alliance with Oba Esigi, who became the first Oba of Benin to speak Portuguese. Ewuare significantly advanced the arts in Benin during his reign, greatly aided by increased trade. He is widely credited with expanding ivory and wood carving in the empire and creating bronze heads for shrines dedicated to deceased Obas. Ewuare also initiated many royal decoration traditions involving coral. In both folktales and artistic representations, Ewuare is depicted as possessing significant magical powers. His expertise in herbalism and magic is reflected in various important artworks from the era. Notably, Ewuare established the Ig festival, originally celebrated to renew his magical powers. According to one oral history, the date of the Ig festival was initially set to coincide with Ewuare's marriage to a wife named Ewere. He is also credited with founding the Yugi Urha Oba festival, which honored the Obas. Details about his death are generally unknown, but according to Egharevba, he was buried at Esi, near Edo, Benin City. His eldest surviving son, Ezoti, was assassinated. His second son, Olua, ruled briefly before being replaced following a revolt by the Azama. His third son, Ozalua, became Oba around 1483 and ruled until 1514. The royal lineage from Ewuare continued for multiple generations.